table a request for bids on track updates. This is an action item.
Thank you, Chairman Rose, Vice Chairman Aaron, board members. Coming to you once again about the track project. In recent time here, we have had meetings with the coaching staff, including the track coach. We've had meetings with the soccer coaches on site, reviewed the scope of the project with them on site. The one concern that came up that I wasn't able to answer for them or address for them was they were concerned about grading of the field, which have been removed from the project. I think that's important for you to note because once we put the new track in place, hauling heavy loads across that area may be a concern. So it's a consideration, but I am coming to you tonight to ask if you have any questions related to the plans that have been forwarded to you related to the track, and to ask for approval to move forward to the bid process if you feel so inclined. Bid bonds required for any project in excess of, I believe it's $1 million, Rebecca, is that correct? Rebecca, if I remember right, $1 million
Could you email me a copy of the specifications?
Sure, absolutely. You want the project manual as well?
Yeah. Okay, the specifications. With the general conditions.
Excellent.
Do we have a bid date yet?
We do not have it. I'm waiting for approval from you all to move into that process, and that's why I was coming tonight before we move forward. I want to make sure that the board itself, and as well as the coaching staff, and anyone who had any other input in the project, feels comfortable with what we're doing. In a nutshell, the project includes replacement of the 6-lane track, improvements to the bleachers, fencing to keep pedestrians off the track when you don't want them on the track, force them to the visitor or home bleacher sides. A new under drain system around the perimeter of the track, removal of the fence that's around the playing field at the moment, new sidewalk, ingress egress pathways to both bleachers with an ADA viewing platform adjacent to the home bleacher side as well, and a new connecting walkway pathway between the two entry roads that go up to the track currently. So new jump events, triple jump, long jump, high jump, pole vault events.
I know we talked about French strings in there.
Correct. That's the under drain.
Yeah, it does. We are doing that.
Yes. Yes, sir. Around the perimeter of the field, near where the fence will be removed.
I see.
Thank you very much, sir. We have a contingency in case we tear up the hauling all this stuff in and out.
Well, I'm hoping that we don't tear up anything. We'll coordinate with the contractor for ease of access, and also we'll coordinate with them on how they access. There's potential what their needs are that they could access from up on the hill at certain times of the year if it's not too wet, but I fully expect them to pretty much use the road down one side of the school for most access.
I know that when I asked earlier about the $100 thing, it could be a permanent project. I think that's
Okay.
good benefit to.
I'll confirm that number, but I'm thinking that I'm trying to remember state procurement law, and I believe it's $1 million. It may be lower.
I'll say it's $500.
It may be $500,000.
I just feel it helps protect the school system and
Yes.
make sure we get the finished product we want, and so we don't run out halfway through.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, with that being said, is that something we can add to this RFP? Or?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm sure there's language in there because of state procurement that their bid bonds required at a certain threshold. But we can find out what the threshold is. If you'd like to set it, you give me a direction that it needs to be set at $500,000. If it's in excess of $500,000, which I'm pretty sure it will be. I'm pretty definitely sure it will be. That we would require a bid bond at that threshold. I may have included it.
Yeah, 95%.
Okay.
That would be. And so, how long is this RFP going to go out
Planning on putting it out for about 30 days, probably have a required mandatory bid meeting to review the project, and then we'll have submittals to responses to that in a bid opening process. And then come back to the board asking for approval to move forward into the construction phase and approval of the cost prior to actually awarding the project to a company.
Could I request that it's a mandatory show that we are advertising for at least 2 weeks prior to the show?
Yes, and that's kind of what the time schedule I've discussed with the
That's
design
about
process.
it.
So, today is February 13th. Our next meeting is on March 13th. We do not have another so what is your thought on the timeline here? If we have 30 days,
Well, best case scenario, you would have 30 days for it to be out to bid with a mandatory 2 weeks as Lowe's was requesting before the pre-bid meeting, if I understand this properly. Honestly, I think 2 weeks after the pre-bid meeting is a little bit short. Honestly, I think I would rather have 3 weeks, at least, maybe even 4, for submittals to be made. Because if you rush it a little too much, people tend to swag the numbers a little high.
Yeah.
To protect themselves. So I think we maybe need to give a little bit more time there. And that's just my honest opinion.
so my only question with that is the timeline. So we're talking about possibly 1st of April before bids are due.
1st of April, probably before you're asked to approve the April meeting, before you're asked to approve the project.
Well, if we go 2 weeks from now before the bid preview day, and then we give them 30 days after that, so
That's 6 weeks.
yeah, so we're yeah,
They're doing this.
so we're April 1st,
Unless we have a special meeting.
and I think that that's something that we could do. I mean, I think I think our board would rather see that happen rather than have to delay this further into the season, because one of the things, as you of course know, that some of the coatings have to be put on when it's a certain temperature and all of those things. So we need to make sure that we get it done and following this.
I do know there's a desire to hold graduation on Mountain Field for AHS. And so what I would like to be is basically teed up for construction to kick off and mobilization to occur immediately following graduation. So
And that graduation is early, it's May 19th or something like that,
I will have to verify the exact date, but it is.
20. So, yeah. I feel certain this board has heard enough about this track project that we could all come together for a night to approve some bids
Wouldn't bother me if
to keep us on.
I greatly appreciate it.
All right, so that sounds like a good,
We need action on these things.
right, so, would someone like to make a motion? John, why don't you make a
I'll
motion with your contingencies in that?
I'll make a motion that we approve the request for bid of the new track with, being a bid responded by.
Bond required, and then using that same time frame.
Yes.
Have a motion by Mr. Wilton, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
A second by Ms. Scrubston. All right, roll call please, Ms. Willis.
Mr. Eric,
Yes.
Mr. Franklin,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Littleton,
Yes.
Mrs. Morgan,
Yes.
Ms. Brooks, okay, and Mr. Wright.
Yes.